Good morning. It's Wednesday. Tonight, Brother Staten's coming to preach for us. We're all excited about that. We always love it when he comes, him and Sister Staten. They're a blessing. We're going to start on chapter 36 today of Isaiah. And, you know, Isaiah has 66 chapters, the same as the Bible has 66 books. So, we're about halfway through, right? Let's see. 33 was halfway through. Now we're a little over halfway through. So it's been really good, hasn't it? And hard sometimes. We're coming to this chapter, which is really more history. It's prophecy, but it's also history. So let's read it. Now it came to pass in the 14th year of King Hezekiah that Sennacherib, king of Assyria, came up against all the defense cities of Judah and took them. So Assyria was a mighty kingdom at that time. I read that it had become a kingdom and lasted for about 250 years. And so this is somebody that wants to take over. Sennacherib, he wants to take over Judah, just like he's taken over many cities. And he took over the defense cities of Judah, but he hadn't got Jerusalem yet, and that's King Hezekiah's place. And the king of Assyria sent Rabshakeh from Lachish to Jerusalem unto King Hezekiah with a great army. And he stood by the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fuller's field. Then came forth unto him Eliakim, Hilkiah's son, which was over the house, and Shebna the scribe, and Joah, Asaph's son, the recorder. And Rabshakeh said unto him, Say ye now to Hezekiah, Thus saith the great king, the king of Assyria, What confidence is this wherein thou trustest? I say, sayest thou, but they are but vain words. I have counsel and strength for war. Now on whom dost thou trust that thou rebellest against me? Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all that trust in him. But if thou say to me, We trust in the Lord our God, is it not he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah hath taken away, and said to Judah and to Jerusalem, Ye shall worship before this altar? Now therefore give pledges, I pray thee, to my master the king of Assyria, and I will give thee 2,000 horses, if thou be able on thy part to set riders upon them. How then wilt thou turn away the face of one captain of the least of my master's servants, and put thy trust on Egypt for chariots and for horsemen? And am I now come up without the Lord against this land and destroy it? The Lord said unto me, Go up against this land and destroy it. Woo! Just like the devil. Lying against the Lord. Lying against them. Wanting to taunt them and make them feel like there's no hope. Because even the Lord's against them, according to them. According to the devil, according to Rabshakeh, even the Lord's against him. Verse 11, Then said Eliakim and Shebna and Joah unto Rabshakeh, Speak, I pray thee, unto thy servants in the Syrian language, for we understand it, and speak not to us in the Jews' language, in the ears of the people that are on the wall. So, these that were the king's men, King Hezekiah's men, didn't want the people on the wall to hear his ranting and raving against God and against Hezekiah and against the land of Judah. But Rabshakeh said, Hath my master sent me to thy master and to thee to speak these words? Hath he not sent me to the men that sit upon the wall, that they may eat their own dung and drink their own piss with you? Then Rabshakeh stood and cried with a loud voice in the Jews' language and said, Hear ye the words of the great king, the king of Assyria. Thus saith the king, Let not King Hezekiah deceive you, for he shall not be able to deliver you. Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying, The Lord will surely deliver us. This city shall not be delivered into the hand of the king of Assyria. Hearken not to Hezekiah, for thus saith the king of Assyria, Make an agreement with me by a present, and come out to me, and eat ye every one of his vine, and every one of his fig tree, and drink ye every one the waters of his own cistern, until I come and take you away to a land like your own land, a land of corn and wine, and land of bread and vineyards. Beware lest Hezekiah persuade you, saying, The Lord will deliver us. Hath any of the gods of the nations delivered his land out of the hand of the king of Assyria? Where are the gods of Hamath and Arpad? Where are the gods of Sepharvaim? And have they delivered Samaria out of my hand? Who are they among all the gods of these lands that have delivered their land out of my hand, that the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand? Ooh. But they held their peace and answered him not a word, for the king's commandment was, saying, Answer him not. So it's a mighty empire. It's a mighty empire of people, of conquered peoples, and they're just coming against the city of Jerusalem. And Hezekiah is the king. Now, if you know anything about Hezekiah, you know that he was a good king. One of the best. He was one of the best of the kings of Judah. And thank God he was at this time, because they needed a good king. Let's look at 2 Kings chapter 18. Go back here. And this is the history of the kings and what happened. 2 Kings chapter 18. I'm going to read verse 1 that says, Now it came to pass in the 3rd year of Hoshea son of Elah, king of Israel, that Hezekiah the son of Ahaz, king of Judah, began to reign. 25 years old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Abi, the daughter of Zechariah, and he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that David his father did. He removed the high places, and brake the images, and cut down the groves, and brake in pieces the brazen serpent that Moses had made. For unto those days the children of Israel did burn incense to it, and he called it Nehushtan. Nehushtan was just a piece of brass. He trusted in the Lord God of Israel, so that after him was none like him among all the kings of Judah, nor any that were before him. For he clave to the Lord, and departed not from following him, but kept his commandments, which the Lord commanded Moses. And the Lord was with him, and he prospered whithersoever he went forth. And he rebelled against the king of Assyria, and served him not. Hallelujah. This Hezekiah was the king in Jerusalem. Now this mighty Sennacherib, he doesn't even come himself. He sends his servant Rabshakeh to talk to King Hezekiah. But Hezekiah did not come out. He sent these others, Eliakim, Shebna, Joah. He sent them. And so Rabshakeh was outside of the city crying out. And he's asking him, where are you getting your confidence? What confidence do you have in all that you're saying? It looked bad for Judah. It looked bad for Hezekiah. And Rabshakeh was rubbing it in. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt. That's verse 6. And then he said, you're going to trust in Egypt? Egypt's not going to help you. It's just going to be like a staff that's got a broken reed. It'll go into your hand and pierce it. And verse 7 said, But if thou say to me, We trust in the Lord our God. Listen to what he does, how he tells. Is it not he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah hath taken away? and said to Judah and to Jerusalem, "You shall worship before this altar." See, they knew a lot. They knew a lot of what was going on. The Assyrians did, but they didn't really understand that the things that Hezekiah did to get rid of the altars and the fake things that people were worshiping was really making him and Jerusalem more precious to God, more precious to defend and to take care of. But he was all wrong about Hezekiah wanting just them to worship at that altar because he just wanted power. No, he was doing it for the Lord, getting rid of the idolatry. So then Rabshakeh begins to even say that God told him, verse 10, "And am I now come up without the Lord against this land to destroy it? The Lord said unto me, Go up against this land and destroy it." Sure, Rabshakeh, you didn't even serve God, and God's going to tell you that. No, he did not, and he was lying. But he was trying to lie in the ears of the people. He wanted the people to lose courage. So the council, the people that Hezekiah had sent, Eliakim, Shebna, and Joah, they say, "Don't talk in our language. We understand your language. Talk in it." But Rabshakeh, that really made him rile. He wanted to tell the people on the wall what they were going to do. He wanted them to lose their courage. "Hear the words of the great king, the king of Assyria." Yep, he wanted to make them afraid. And then he said, "Let not Hezekiah deceive you." Well, did he know the king? Did he know the king wasn't bound down to Assyria? Did he know the king wasn't given up? He must have. For he said, "Let not Hezekiah deceive you, for he shall not be able to deliver you. Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying, The Lord will surely deliver us. This city shall not be delivered into the hand of the king of Assyria." Listen, he's preaching the truth. He's preaching what they should believe. Then he said, "Hearken not to Hezekiah, for he's telling them, you're going to stay here until I take you off into the land of the Assyrians." That's what's going to happen to you. "And none of the gods of Hamath or Arpad or Sepharvaim, even Samaria, was delivered into his hand and not delivered out of his hand." The gods weren't able to do it. But Samaria was no longer the Jews. They had been carried captive, and they had brought people back from their land. Tiglath-Pileser had done that and brought people from their land and made Samaria a conglomerate of all kinds of worship and all kinds of gods. So God didn't feel the need to be true to Samaria anymore because they had forsaken him. But here's Hezekiah standing. "Who are they among all the gods of these lands that have delivered their land out of my hand, that the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand?" Woo! He's setting it up, isn't he? He's setting it up for God to deliver. He's making it look just as bad as it can be. But all the people in Jerusalem, they knew that what he was saying was that those false gods could not deliver their countries, but our true and living God could. And that's what Hezekiah believed, and Isaiah, all of them believed that. But they held their peace and answered him not a word, for the king's commandment was, saying, "Answer him not." This is in 710 and 710 BC. And Isaiah is reporting what happened. And he's reporting that the king did not want them to even answer him. This is the last verse in this chapter. "Then came Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, that was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, And Joel the son of Asaph, the recorder, these are his officers, and they were the ones that listened to Rabshakeh, to Hezekiah with their clothes rent, and told him the words of Rabshakeh. So they had rent their clothes because it looked so bad. They were already in mourning. Tomorrow we're going to see what happened with Hezekiah. Okay? I'll see you then.